What do you do? What do you think? When everything that you've dreamt about, everything that you value, everything that you think brings value to your life is closed off to you by God. Have you ever been there? Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever just looked up? Maybe, we wouldn't do it in church. We wouldn't do it in worship. We probably wouldn't do it in our small groups. Matter of fact, we probably would only do it in kind of the quiet of our own home at night just before we fall asleep, where you just want to raise your fist towards God and ask him why. Why do you keep this from me? Why did life end up this way? Well, that's where Hannah is. Check this out as we continue down in verse 6. It wasn't enough that she didn't have children. Her rival, verse 6, would provoke her grievously and irritate her because the Lord had closed her womb. And so it went on year by year, particularly as they went up to the house of the Lord to worship, that Peninnah would provoke her. Therefore, Hannah wept and would not eat. So what would happen is it's one thing that this is going on. Now it's another thing that the other wife, which, by the way, guys, if you're not paying attention, this is a really good reason not to have two women at one time. Just throwing that out there for you. That's free. But the other wife would come and she would pick on Hannah. She would, oh man, Hannah, I know there's all these dishes to be done, but I'm so sorry. I've been up all day with the kids and running after. I know you don't know what that feels like, but I'm exhausted. So I'm going to go lie down. If you could just do the dishes. I know there's all this laundry to fold. I know we've got to get the offering together. I know all this is going on, but I've got to take Johnny to baseball practice, and Sally has dance, and maybe one day you'll know how exhausting and difficult that is. But right now, could you just handle this, and this for me? Every time she turned around, particularly when they went to worship, Peninnah would just poke, would just pick, would just find that one little soft spot and just irritate Hannah as much as she could. And Hannah would look out and look and see that God has done this to me. God has closed my womb. God will not allow me to have kids. Why, oh why, God, would you do this to me? See, the truth is, even if you found true love, even if you got to the top of the ladder, even if you found yourself having everything that you ever desired, even if you had financial security, relational security, if you made the team,